Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Dirt Sheet Radio post-show rewind for NXT New Year's Evil for January the 2nd, 2024. I am Tyler, the pro wrestling hipster at PW Hipster on Threads, Instagram, Twitter, refuse to call it X, and the Pro Wrestling Hipster over on Facebook. Gentlemen, let's introduce ourselves and then dive right into tonight's main event.
You know, Tyler, I know you were absent last week. You know, I know you were sick, but some say you were sick as a dog.
Oh, the puppies!
Just a little cameo.
Puppies!
Just a little cameo from Bruce right here, guys. What's up, y'all? I'm DC Soup. Coming to y'all again for another NXT review.
The only time it's acceptable to scream puppies in this modern 2023. 2024! We are now in the new year. Hello, Bruce.
Hey, guys, glad to be here. Let's talk some NXT. You heard him.
Awesome. Yeah, let's do it. CJ Carter at CJ Carter22 on Twitter. Here recapping NXT New Year's Evil, and catch me on this coming Friday for New Year's Revolution on SmackDown.
Mm-hmm.
All right, gentlemen, tonight's main event ended up being Trick Williams taking on Grayson Waller with Trick's NXT Championship title shot on the line. This was set up earlier in the evening. They established that Dragunov was not medically cleared to wrestle tonight. I assume that match is going to be rescheduled for Vengeance Day. But Trick and Grayson main evented tonight. And guys, I gotta say, pretty solid match. Enjoyable match. Trick picked up the win, I think, unsurprisingly, in 13 minutes and 3 seconds to retain his shot at the NXT Championship. We had an appearance by Kevin Owens. Crowd had a good pop from that. But gentlemen, what did you think of tonight's main event?
Good.
Well, go ahead. Well, I got it. I was gonna say, man, it's just weird because I thought the whole thing with Ilja Dragunov was an angle. So why did the main event get changed? That was kind of weird. And then it was an advertised title match, unless I'm missing something.
Well, it was advertised that the number one contendership was on the line.
Gotcha.
With Grayson Waller. But yeah, like it was definitely an interesting circumstance, and I think it plays into what they're doing with Ridge Holland, which we'll talk about a little bit later on. But I mean, great main event. We knew what Trick Williams is capable of in the main event match. We know what Grayson Waller's capable of, and they knocked it out of the park as far as I'm concerned.
Mm-hmm. Good match. I thought Trick Williams looked good. It's good to have him kind of going in strong to his number one contender match. Carmelo Hayes, they still stirring the pot with that storyline. Maybe he's kind of dragging a little bit now. It's been about 3-4 years since, Trick got slapped in the back of the head backstage. So, like, what I'm saying? Maybe let it go, like I've been saying the past couple of weeks. But they're still trying to weave in this story. And, like, if the crowd can see it from a mile away that something's up with Carmelo Hayes, then why can't Trick see that, like, Carmelo Hayes and him have been beefing and they've been kind of butting heads. I don't know why, like, logically wouldn't he just be like, dude, we need to, like, talk about something, like, what's going on? You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, does no one that watches the show tell him, like, Trick, like, look at his face. Look at Melo's face when y'all are hugging. Like, yeah. No, like it really does. It's one of those things where it makes a baby face look stupid, or, it just kind of, I don't know. It makes it seem like they just have to ignore, part of what their reality would be. It's kind of like ignoring the camera when they're backstage, hatching a scheme, like they're not being filmed, live on television.
But, yeah. I mean, like, that suspension of disbelief really only gets you so far. Yeah, I don't know. It's an interesting choice, I thought, for Trick to not lose clean. I mean, you had the interference from Kevin Owens specifically getting involved. So, and I get feeding into the U.S. title tournament finals on SmackDown this Friday, but it's it's not it feels like a blemish on this record for Trick, which he really doesn't need right now.
Yeah. Yeah. But like I said though, you know what I'm saying, it would have been nice to see a Ilja versus Trick main event tonight, and you know what I'm saying, to see what they do with that match. But I know they have to set up, I guess, this Carmelo Trick storyline. I guess they got to flesh it out. Because honestly, between that and maybe some stuff in the women's division, I think that's the only strong storyline going on right now in NXT anyway. So I guess they're treating it like their kind of version of the Bloodline story, or like maybe like a Judgment Day kind of finish the story kind of thing, or you know, another example of that. But I don't know, man. I just feel like it's kind of going on a little too long. Maybe what's the next one? Vengeance Day, is that what they call it? Vengeance Day?
Yeah.
I think at Vengeance Day they should wrap it up.
At least drop the reveal that it was, you know, Melo that jumped him. Like, it's pretty much every week I'm like, oh, this is gonna be the week they're gonna, you know, pop the reveal on that, and then inevitably they don't. You know, it's just like me on the Raw, you know, post show every week. I think Damian Priest is going to cash in the Money in the Bank, and he doesn't. So you know, I just keep hoping, and it keeps not happening, but it will happen. I have to, you know, trust in Trips and trust in Sean. It's what I, you know.
Obvious wrestling payoffs is what what's trending in wrestling right now. Like obvious payoffs is what the bookers think is what's selling right now. I don't know. You know, you got the MJF stuff going on in AEW with Adam Cole's The Devil. Then like I guess this, like, it's obviously like, I mean, who else could it be unless it's like a swerve? But it's probably gonna be like Carmelo being revealed. But there's no like, oh my god, it's not gonna be that, because it's like, oh, finally they said it's, now we can move the story along. That's the only thing. I don't want to harp on it too much. Like, I don't want to be too negative, but like, that's just how I feel about it.
Sometimes it's all right to go with the obvious choice sometimes, you know, because, you know, otherwise you might end up with a, you know, it was me, Austin. Yeah. It was me all along, where it's just like, it made no fucking sense. And it was just a, you know, swerve for the sake of a swerve. But it really, I feel like you're right, though, man. We are definitely, like, in our long-term reveal storylines, the two big ones that have been going on in the, you know, couple of the companies, it ended up being the obvious choice. Which, by the way, I'll just say, we don't talk a lot of AEW, but I'm just glad that they didn't go with it being MJF himself. Heard that as a brief rumor. I'm like, how the hell would they pull that off? Like,
yeah, anyway. that would have been tough. Or Jack Perry. I'm glad it wasn't Jack Perry. That wouldn't have been wouldn't have been optimal. You know what I mean?
No. But gentlemen, anything else on tonight's main event?
I can't wait to see what they do with Trick next.
Yeah, it's the moment that you're talking about where they reveal it was Melo all along feels like it is a pay-per-view level reveal. So I feel like they are going to pull the trigger on that to set up for Stand and Deliver.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Absolutely. And you know, we're there. Like, we are on the road right now to that. You know, we're not a lot of time left. We're definitely, you know, hitting the path to the you know, payoffs for the year for us. But all right, so popping around to the front of the show, we had the NXT Women's Championship match with Lyra Valkyria defending against Blair Davenport. Lyra retained her championship in 8 minutes and 25 seconds. Pretty solid opener. You know, good, strong spots. Gentlemen, what did you think of the opening match tonight?
I thought it was cool. I thought it was a good physical match. I think Blair Davenport, I could see her fit in with like Lacey Evans and Zoe Stark over there on the main roster as being like a physical kind of striker. I think finally this is like one of those matches where she finally kind of showcased what her moveset really is, and kind of like she plays a good heel role, you know, being very dastardly. Held her down by the hair, threw some kicks. So it's a very physical match. I like Lyra as champion. I'm not really invested in either of these ladies though. That's the only thing, is that only thing I've really heard from Lyra is you know, her getting the win over Becky Lynch, which has it done wonders for her career. I think time will still tell. I don't think that was the pivotal moment, like, oh man, she's on now. I don't think that's one of those, but you know, it was still a good match. And then it's funny because I was taking care of Bruce. I think I was going up, like walking away or something. And I came back to the TV, and after the match, it was like a post-match scramble. And I was like, what the hell? And then Kevin Patrick was like, what the hell? And I was just like, yeah, what the hell's going on? It was like five chicks like jumping on each other. So I don't really know what that was about. Who's the Freddy Krueger chick again?
It's
Tatum Paxley.
That's Tatum Paxley. So Lola Vice ran to the ring in an attempt to cash in her title shot.
Gotcha.
But Paxley showed up and stopped her from being able to cash it in, and that's when that kind of brawl was going on there.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, I missed that. I was out the room. So you missed like it's like an episode of regular show. If you miss like 2 minutes, you're like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah, no, great match throughout. Not surprised by the result at all. I thought Lyra and Paxley, whatever they've got going on, is going to kind of extend past the New Year's Evil and heading into stand and deliver territory. And it looks like they're kind of heading that way too. They had a promo backstage later on in the night, but yeah, it was a great opener for sure. Definitely something to get the crowd on their feet, warmed up, and ready for the rest of the event.
The women's locker room can look up to, but Blair Davenport could be moments away. Falcon arrow from the...
Whoa.
Yeah, exactly. Like a move like that, Falcon arrow from the top rope, solid main event level match to open the event.
I agree, man.
We say this every single week, but the NXT women's division is absolutely on fire and the best women's division in professional wrestling.
Oh yeah, bar none. I don't think anybody touching them right now.
Well, and I was gonna find a spot in the night to pose this question, but since we're talking about how strong this women's division is, would it benefit from a mid-card title?
See, that's the thing, man. And you know, I know we're talking about NXT tonight, you know what I'm saying? And you know, but I don't want to compare too much, but with Tony Khan bringing in that middleweight, oh Lord have mercy, that mid-card ROH championship for the women he did, it's a good shout to the women to say like, hey, look, there's still opportunity for everybody on the roster. I just don't see how you can differentiate a main event women's wrestler from a mid-card women's wrestler in NXT, because I feel like everybody's sort of like on the same level. So maybe just do a unique kind of like how they do with the Heritage Cup, make it kind of like maybe like a stipulation title or something like that. You know what I mean? Like do something like that, because you're just gonna have two women's champions and it's gonna one's gonna devalue the other, in my opinion. But it might work out, you know.
Well, no, but I understand where you're coming from, because that's getting in kind of not to pick on TK a little bit. But like, I just think, adding another championship into those companies is a bad idea. Like between Ring of Honor and AEW, they've got like 14 titles.
Yeah, I counted 26 last time I checked.
13 AEW ROH titles, 14 WWE NXT titles.
Did you say 13 AEW and 14 NXT and WWE, John?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so that's still a shitload for everybody.
Yeah.
What I'm envisioning here is basically a female not iteration, but like a female example of the North American title. Literally just a separate championship for the singles division. And just something that even send it up to the main roster, have a main roster star come down and win it for a few weeks or a few months and do what we will with that. But it just creates another opportunity in the women's division to get on the same level, structure-wise, as the men have.
Can I actually say something about adding a second women's championship to the company? What it does is it locks the creative into having to slot the women into a second slot on a pay-per-view and on television. And sometimes these companies aren't responsible enough to do it when they aren't locked into it. So I kind of see where you're coming from, CJ.
Well,
I hear.
but
Oh, go
if
ahead.
anybody could pull it off, it's NXT.
Okay, that's a good shout. I feel what you're saying, John, but at the same time, bro, you say that it'll like open up some slots. But the Intercontinental title hasn't been defended since like last year at WrestleMania at over 7 years. So you know what I'm saying. So even though it is a title, who's to say it gets enough shine on a pay-per-view? But I mean, like you said, if anybody could do it, I feel like NXT could, because they do have a workload. They do have a colorful cast of characters, which we'll get into later in the show. You know, everybody's chilling backstage with their own logos. That's pretty cool. But yeah, so they have the roster for it, but you know, the execution is what I'm a little bit like, you know, I don't know if it's gonna work or not.
Well, and is it something that they would wait until the contract with CW starts, and maybe actually make it like a CW championship, kind of like it says there in NXT Women's
like
TV
it's television?
Yeah.
And
Because-
they very well could be. It could be something like that, as long as they don't extend NXT to 3 hours or anything
Oh
crazy.
God,
like that.
no,
That'd be tough. It's
no.
tough.
Yeah, I'd be fine with an extra championship over an extra hour any day of the week.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'll pick my poison.
All right, moving on to our next match on the card. It was originally supposed to be the LWO teaming with Dragon Lee. Dragon Lee was out, so Joaquin Wilde and Cruz del Toro teamed with Carlito, making his, I'm assuming, NXT debut. I can't imagine Carlito had been on NXT television before.
Was he a mentor?
It actually
in the
is
game
not.
show days?
He was Percy Watson's NXT mentor.
There it is.
Oh wow, wow, that's fun.
All
That was a
right.
cool like one-off like joke, but then you're like, wait a minute. Oh my god, that was so long ago. Yeah, I didn't know that was his coach.
And you know, and we've talked about Percy Watson recently, but yeah, so LWO taking on the No Quarter Catch crew, which was comprised of Drew Gulak, Damon, Kemp, and Myles Borne, as Dempsey was probably already in Japan, I imagine, prepping for a match he's having over there. For the Triple Crown Championship. Is that the same Triple Crown?
No,
That
this
is
is
the
All
same
Japan.
legendary
Triple Crown.
All Japan Triple Crown Championship. That boy is getting his ass whipped out there too. Nakajima was not. This was not NXT PC strikes. He's getting his shit whooped in.
Do you think Regal prepped him for that? Like, son,
I hope
you're
so.
going to get the shit knocked
But I
out of you.
don't think it works out better when you go over there and get shocked into it with a kick to your chest.
Weren't they promoting that match for the 4th?
Did they? No, he has had 2 tag matches. He has had 2 tag matches already, and then the championship match is, I think it was this morning. It's on the 2nd. So the 4th is the Tokyo Dome show, New Japan show. I don't think All Japan is running that day. That would be crazy.
I just remember seeing the graphic with Charlie Dempsey's face, and I thought it said the 4th.
Yeah, no, I think it's 1 too, because he's had like a tiny little tour over there. And have they brought this up on NXT television at all?
They mentioned it on NXT,
No,
but
this is going to be my point.
That's so weird. That's such a waste. I think. Like
they mentioned tonight the Triple Crown Championship. They mentioned that tonight on TV.
They gotta get clips.
I didn't
put
catch
together
it
a video package.
It was like a one-off line as the No Quarter Catch crew were making their entrance. But
he's going through so much over there. Like he's having such a great experience over there. You would think that's something they would make a video package of and highlight. And I guess you still have 1 week, so here's hoping for next week.
In this era of Triple H and Shawn Michaels, I'm surprised they didn't mention it. Even since they had a whole package for it and everything, like on Twitter, like they had him like the owner of AJPW answering the phone and all that kind of shit, you know.
Well, and the promo that William Regal did announcing Charlie Dempsey as the NXT superstar, and
as his son, the first ever acknowledgement of Charlie Dempsey as his son. Like,
pretty
that's
cool.
all important stuff that you would think NXT TV definitely should have.
And it was on Twitter.
Yeah, because guess what? They know everybody's on Twitter, so I mean, it's
the new
not really
age.
Yeah, it's the new. I mean, I agree with that. I think they know everybody sees everything first on Twitter. I don't know if they're still doing the NXT Anonymous thing, but that's what they were doing there too. So
it's been a few weeks since we've had an NXT Anonymous bet.
There was something after the reveal of Lexis King backstage with Trick Williams that they posted, but I can't remember what it was. But I feel like it was within the last 3 weeks.
Mello texting, I think. But
maybe yeah,
it was Mello texting. But the match was pretty solid. It was a send the crowd home happy kind of a match. Went exactly as you thought it was going to go. Carlito and the LWO picked up the win. I will say that springboard fling that they did to Joaquin Wilde, that was some distance covered coming off.
Booker Joaquin Wilde got launched.
First of all, I don't think I've ever seen that spot before. One, so props on that. Two, I think that's the furthest dive I've ever seen in pro wrestling ever. Two, let's be real. And three, this finally gave LWO a highlight, and it gave them a little bit of flair and personality. If they need to add this to the moveset, because they finally got something going for them in Carlito, and just the LWO in general. They're an exciting team to watch. And I thought this match was pretty good because it was a combination of both, the Blackpool Combat Club. I'm sorry, the quarter catch crew working the brawling style versus the high flying style, and LWO are very excited. So I think keeping them in NXT is a good shout. To help some tag teams get over and maybe enter the Dusty Classic, which we heard from tonight as well.
Yeah.
Well, and,
there was another stable that did the the claw with, and then that.
Yeah,
I can't remember.
I think that was Randy Orton. Randy Orton did that when he first 2004. Randy Orton.
Oh, okay, because
you're not talking about Tarver, right? Was it the old?
No, it wasn't Tarver. It wasn't that.
No, it was specifically grabbing the wrist, and I'm trying to remember why that rings a bell. If there's anyone in the comments too that happens to know, please let me know, because this will bug me until I'm tossing and turning at 2 a.m.
Who did the wrist thing? Oh, I can't sleep.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, gentlemen, anything else on that 6-man tag?
Great spot.
Did they say why Dragon Lee wasn't there?
I think it was visa issues. I think Twitter knows, but I don't think they said.
Oh, okay.
I think it's just one of those. I think if you know, you know.
Okay.
Had a quick backstage segment with Kelly Kincaid interviewing Trick and Carmelo. This was what set up for tonight's main event, as she was getting their reaction to Dragunov not being medically cleared to compete this evening. Pretty standard backstage segment. It again, continues to drive a wedge between Trick and Mello, as Mello's the one that got Trick into the match, and Mello's the one that put Trick's title shot on the line. Trick went along with it because, he's a fighting baby face, but you could tell that he was irritated that Mello basically just, volunteered his shit up to be on the chopping block.
Tell him. Be honest with him. Naysayer, please.
Oh my God!
I had that written in my notes. Naysayer, please.
Thank you, John. Oh, thank you, John. That was one of the many cringe things on the show tonight. It's a very cringy show. There's a lot of cringy moments, but Naysayer, please, got to be one of the worst. Who wrote that, bro?
That's suffering succotash.
Was definitely Road Dogg.
Naysayer,
I will give them this. It was a reference to a meme over the weekend, and usually WWE is 8 months late on things, so I'll get them for getting it within the first 7 days.
Okay, what's the meme? Somebody said
it wasn't really a meme. It was there's a football player that has LANK on his clothes, and it stands for letter Nate, and the guy and the newscaster says it stands for let a naysayer know. All the guys look at him like, No, it fucking doesn't. But
Yeah.
like that was really, we didn't think you were
Okay.
gonna say that. So they
Okay.
at
I
least
don't know.
made a
Still-
reference that was within 7 days, still hadn't expired yet. So good on them.
Okay. You know, the thing about NXT too is just that, you know, there's a lot of up and coming wrestlers, you know, and you know, promos. I don't know if anybody else has cut promos in the mirror, but they're fucking hard. Like I couldn't do it on my best day. But the promo work on this show is it's just so stagey for some reason. It just everything's just seems so unnatural. And you try to suppress it, you try to look past it, you try to enjoy it, but it's just like everything just seems so unnatural, which we'll get to later. And I think everybody knows who I'm talking about when I'm like, dude, calm the fuck. What is this? But we'll get to it later. Just remember I said that.
It is foreshadowing at its finest. We had a quick little video package hyping Riley Osborne for the finals of the Breakout tournament tonight. Just a little voiceover work comparing him to other European wrestlers such as Drew McIntyre, Finley, Finn Balor, and of course William Regal. And that led into the next match on the card, Roxanne Perez taking on Arianna Grace. Perez picked up the win in just a little over 5 minutes. However, the decision was reversed as Perez just continued to beat the ever-loving crap out of Grace after the match. Gentlemen, what did you think of this match?
I hate the ending where, like, you know, the decision gets reversed because she got her ass beat too hard. Like, I hate those endings where it's like, oh my god, you know. But I know they're trying to establish
Ken Shamrock special.
Yeah, right. And I'm just like, I know they're trying to establish Roxanne as, I guess she's trying to turn, or I guess she's turning, or maybe doing some tweener shit. But like, this seemed like a heel turn to me. So cool, I guess. It wasn't a double turn because wasn't Santino's daughter like a heel going into it?
Yeah, she was definitely. I don't think it's a double turn territory, but I think they're just trying to add a bit of edge to Roxanne Perez's character. Like the squeaky clean gimmick can only really get you so far. Bailey is a solid example of that. Once she shed the hugger gimmick, she really took off. So I think this is the start of just the next phase of her career. I think she's gonna stay as a face. But it was definitely, I agree, it was a weird way to end that match and just have that finish reversed. I get like wanting to solidify that the referee's word is law and their authority needs to be respected and listened to, but it's still a weird consequence for a match to be like unlost because your opponent decided to continue punching you in the face.
Yeah, like it's wrestling, bro. Like worse shit has happened.
That's how Michael Cole has a victory at WrestleMania.
Oh, that's I suppressed that.
It is a decades old precedent set when it comes to attacking a wrestler after a match when the referee tells you not to. So I could give it to them. Like it's in wrestling history, in the mythical wrestling rule book. If you keep attacking your opponent after the ref asks you to stop, you're either going to be disqualified within the match or you'll get your decision reversed. So I can't really knock them on that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, like I get it. There's precedent for sure. Yeah.
It feels like something Dusty would book from time to time himself. So.
That's the more entertainment aspect of it right there.
Right.
For sure.
But moving on, we had a interview backstage with Kelly Kincaid interviewing Ava. And guys, it should be said, like, this is NXT. This is where people are, supposed to develop and hone. They're moving Ava into this role of being an authority figure. She needs to get better on the mic.
Yeah, bless her heart. Bless her heart. She has a big shoes to fill.
Yeah,
big shoes to fill. That's ridiculous expectations. I get it, but we're not even asking for you to say $1 million. We're just asking you to just cut a regular promo with
make it sound natural.
Without reading natural. Without reading it off the microphone handle. Like, bro, like you guys, like it's just like I don't know. Nothing sounds natural in these promos. You know what I'm talking about? Like it's just like, who's to say I I could do better or anything like that. But it's just like when every single promo sounds like somebody's reading it on a teleprompter, and every single promo tonight, even Trick and Carmelo, be honest with you, naysayer, please. Even, you know what I'm saying? It's hard to kind of suspend your disbelief. It's hard.
No, I totally agree. Like, I see a lot. Like, it's nice that we did get a confirmation of how she got this job, though. Like the actual linear progression of, oh yeah, we saw her talking backstage to Paul Heyman, and then now she's in this position of authority. But yeah, like I said the same thing when Cora Jade came back too. Like, take an acting class. You know, you're in Florida. It's not hard to find one.
Full Sail has to have an acting class. Full Sail has.
I have to imagine
you're up there at
acting
Full Sail,
101.
bro. Yeah, for sure. They have like audio, video, acting, and like speech, like right all three next to each other, bro.
If Roman can take an acting class, everybody else on the roster should be able to take an acting class. The top guy went to an acting class in the middle of his, like 5 years into his main roster run. I think the NXT kids could go to acting class.
Yeah.
There's nothing to be ashamed of.
Yeah. No, exactly. Or the PC needs to hire an acting coach.
Yeah.
It's just, or just maybe just drill the promos more. I know promos are like a big thing in NXT. I know they have to, like, you know, you'd have to do like 1,000 burpees and then like just cut a promo. I know it's like a part of the regimen they teach, but I don't know. Maybe because the in-ring work has improved over the course of the years, trying to mix that indie style with the WWE style. So maybe they're focused more on in-ring, because like these promos and like these backstage segments are like, it's like almost like ridiculous level of like, and we'll get to it later. We almost there. We almost there, but it's like this one. I was like, what were they thinking? Why? Keep on. Watch. Y'all see. Watch.
Well,
yeah. For a company that says they're not a wrestling company, they're an entertainment company, then you need to teach your people how to be more entertaining.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And you're right. Like, Ava definitely has big shoes to fill, but she has a long way to come.
And she's only been like still within her first year.
Yeah, it's true. It's just there's just kind of just an awkwardness about her. Like, where she just, it almost just like, it seems as though she feels out of place in these segments.
Yeah.
And that's part of finding yourself as a character. You know, you have to believe what you're doing, and that takes time to develop and find. Like, hell, like, it's not like, you know, her dad was knocking it out of the park as the blue chipper Rocky Maivia.
Mm-hmm. It takes some time. This might be her Rocky Maivia phase right here. You know,
yeah,
Ava Raine might be, you know, something bigger in the future. Who knows?
Time will tell. Yes, we had a quick confrontation backstage with Nikita Lyons and Blair Davenport, setting up for a future confrontation with them. So what do you guys think they have planned for Nikita long term?
I don't know, man. I think they're trying to, like I said before, man, I think they're trying to stay away from like the whole, you know, glitz and glamour of it. Like, they're trying to, you know, like make her more of like they're trying to rely less on her looks and trying to create a fighting character out of her, like make her a fighting machine, which could be cool. Long term, she's definitely getting a title run. I definitely see her getting a title run because of her popularity, and also she's over. You know what I'm saying? So, for Nikita Lyons, just keep on putting her over strong. Maybe go on a squash run, squash a couple people, build her up, then maybe take on Blair Davenport down the road, or I'm sorry, Lyra. Oh my God, I'm blanking.
Lyra Valkyria.
Lyra Valkyria, yeah. Have her take on her down the road, and then, you know what I'm saying, have Nikita win the title, and then eventually call her up, or they might just go straight to call her up. I don't know, but time will tell with that.
Well, Nikita is a solid example of who I would picture as a mid-card champion for the NXT women's division. She does deserve that title run, but obviously the championship picture is a little full right now, so give her a mid-card title run to fill some time until she's ready for the main event scene, or she may even just get called up. But I think because she's so recently back from injury,
Thank you, John. I'm glad.
I was trying to play that muted. That was supposed to play muted while you spoke about her, but it has music, and it's like a really bad music choice. I don't. What is this music choice? It sucks.
John always had that ready in the cut for weeks. He's just waiting on the right opportunity. Okay?
Anytime we bring up Nikita Lyons, I'll drop this same clip.
Make sure that music's playing every single time.
That's the Nikita Lyons segment.
I just wanted to say, like, there's some. I think Nikita Lyons has a huge upside, but it's not all just in ring. It's not all just in ring. All right, I think she has a very particular look, and she's very popular because she looks that way. And I think that's something you need to capitalize on, especially with her. So, I mean, even if she gets injured in the knees, even if it turns out she can't wrestle, you need to make this lady an interviewer. Mm-hmm. Like, there's a lot of upside for Nikita Lyons just because she is who she is. I mean, I don't know if that offends people or not, but I feel like that's a good thing. She's got a lot of opportunity.
And that's the thing too, without saying too much, I feel like, that's a realistic approach. When you're like in the office or you're in the chair and you're making these business decisions and you want eyes on your product, whether that be online, on the bump or stuff like that. And I don't want to shortchange her or anything, because I think she's good in ring. And I think, what I'm saying, she has a lot of everybody knows the split finisher went viral. Okay. We already know, because once regular people start making memes about, your finisher that don't watch wrestling, you're over. It's over with. It's done.
Drake follows her. So
it's over with.
These are things you have to follow up on.
So you have to be
wait. Jimmy from Degrassi
wants that ass. Yes, he does.
Isn't that crazy?
Like, I'm sorry. That's my thing. That's my thing about Drake. I will admittedly, in someone that watches Degrassi, The Next Generation, and that's all I can ever see when I look at him is
man,
Jimmy.
I'm from Canada and I still have never watched an episode of Degrassi.
We hit that age now, though, where the people that used to be like really insignificant are the megastars of the universe. You gotta get used to it, because some of the people you see on NXT right now who are probably not even on our radar are about to be like WrestleMania main event in 5 years. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hey, Look at Becky Lynch. Look at Becky Lynch doing the Irish jig, and then she main evented like WrestleMania, first ever woman to do it. That's
the
crazy.
Man who wouldn't be the man without Nia Jax.
Oh man, what was that about? Heavy hand Nia Jax for sure.
All right. Moving on to the next match. See, Degrassi is awesome. Thank you.
That's a good show.
I will take your word for it.
It goes there. Fantastic show. But our next match was Fallon Henley taking on Tiffany Stratton, where if Fallon wins, Tiffany has to be her ranch hand, and if Tiffany wins, then Fallon would have to be her servant. And Fallon Henley picked up the win in 9 minutes and 5 seconds. Guys, I thought this was a really solid match. Obviously, Tiffany Stratton is main roster bound. It's just a matter of when out. Oh my gosh,
nice.
Here we are, man.
Nice. Very good. Oh, and she posted it. That's funny. That's very funny.
All right, that's where we're heading. So maybe that's a little nod to the kind of comedy vignettes we're going to be getting in the.
Oh yeah, get ready for it. Get ready for these. Get ready for these.
It's going to be some Green Acres style shit. It's going to be fun. But I thought it was pretty solid. I think 2024 is going to be a big year for Fallon Henley. I think she's going to have a breakout year.
Yeah, word for word. That's exactly the note that I had written down. I predict a good year for Fallon Henley. Like, she just has star written all over her. I said as much heading into Deadline. She is going to step up tremendously. Another solid mid-card champion right now. And that's just right now. Like, she still has so much more time to get even better. So yeah, 2024 is definitely, she's the one to watch.
I already knew they were going to push Fallon Henley after they split everybody up in the whole country club thing. Brooks, Briggs. I knew that once they split everybody up, I was like, oh yeah, Fallon's going to get a push. She kind of gives me Mickie James vibes a little bit, you know, as far as personality. And you know, like you saying, stack roster. We were just talking about Nikita Lyons a while ago. Now we're talking about Fallon Henley. Both great competitors and both like kind of in the upper echelon of the roster, you know, choice. They both look strong right now, and you have a bunch of viable options to pick and insert into the NXT title picture. You cannot say the same for SmackDown, and you cannot say the same for Raw. If it's not Becky Lynch, or if it's not, I'll give you Bayley. If it's not like Nia Jax, then who's fake? You know, you could try to put Ivy Nile, Zoe Stark in a match with Rhea Ripley. But guess what? Shane, you could try to put Shayna Baszler in a match with Rhea Ripley, but guess what? They're gonna get swallowed up by charisma. And I feel like with NXT women, you can put anybody in a picture and they'll be a viable option for the for a matchup. So I think that's what they're doing a good job of too.
Absolutely.
My feed blacked out at one point during the match, and
we lost your audio there.
Yeah, I've been having connectivity issues. Like, I don't know if it's the port or if it's the cable. It keeps telling me my mic is unplugged, and then it mutes me. My feed kept blacking out during this match, so I was kept blacking out. It was like twice, but it was significant enough that I was like, oh god, what's happening? And yeah, like, this was the chance, I guess, we'd have to talk about the disillusion of Briggs and Jensen, since we weren't here last week to talk about it. I think Jensen is going to wind up being Janetti'd here.
Oh god,
or worse. You know, like, if he's 6 months from now he shows up on Ring of Honor, I wouldn't be surprised. And that's just the unfortunate reality. It looks like they're really wanting to push Briggs as a singles competitor. Fallon Henley was always going to be like starbound. And then,
I mean, Briggs wasn't Briggs an Evolve champion?
That I'm not sure. Could have been.
Sorry, guys. I'm trying not to corpse right now.
He was.
Joey's just having the time of his life in the comments. He said maybe Fallon bring a donkey and bring Stratton would kiss Dusty donkey ass instead of being the servants.
What is this? What is happening? What is this?
Joey, are you having a stroke?
Man, bless his heart.
That sounds like something the Iron Sheik would say, and for that, I love it.
Hey, you know what? I think it's time to officially crown Joey the fantasy booker of NXT, bro. Joey, the NXT booker, bro, for real. And what's up, Jeremy? See, Jeremy Harris agrees too. But I think Fallon Henley is NXT champion material, though.
Absolutely, yeah.
So,
yeah, she's gonna have I think she's gonna have a really, really good year. All right, so moving on from that, CJ, we had a segment that I'm sure you absolutely loved. We had Baron Corbin approaching Braun Breaker in the back. Baron Corbin approaching Braun Breaker in the back is a seashell kind of thing for me there. Good grief. But approached him regarding teaming up for the Dusty Classic, as they are both assholes, which is, hell, why not? You know, there have been far worse premises for tag teams to form. So whatever. Baron Corbin's back on NXT television. Just when we thought we'd been rid of him, there we are.
Man, I have it written down in my notes. I can't believe Braun is letting Corbin drag him down with him. And then Corbin being himself isn't any better than any other gimmick he's given us before.
Damn.
I
It just don't work with you, huh? You can't do
look, like I say I have no
Job of the night. There you go. Yeah.
our Constable Corbin of the night. Look, I don't actually have a problem with Baron Corbin. It's just that over the course of his career, it's just been false start after false start. And even now, I still don't feel like I have a reason to get invested into Baron Corbin. He needs to do the Drew McIntyre, the Cody Rhodes, the leave the company, make a name for yourself outside of the WWE, make yourself a commodity that you can just walk back in the door, do whatever you want, and probably win the WWE title along the way. I say probably because I'm still, we talked about it yesterday. Cody Rhodes is not finishing his story until WrestleMania 41 at the earliest. Thank you, The Rock, and thank you, CM Punk. But as far as tonight goes, like I just don't care about Baron Corbin. That's not a secret. I still have high hopes for Braun Breaker, but seeing them together, two assholes. That's the gimmick that they're seem to be going with.
Yeah, two a-holes.
I don't care.
I don't care. It's like, bro, like, you know what I'm saying?
So CJ, you're saying that you're not picking what I'm going to call Team Core Braun. You're not picking Core Braun. You're not picking Core Braun to win the tournament this year.
First of all, I think of you less as a person for having come up with Core Braun. I'm judging you. I'm judging you internally now. Second of all, unfortunately, I feel like they're going to make it to the final, if not win the tournament. But, if it doesn't lead to anything substantial, like they actually have to win the NXT tag team titles for this to be worth it for me, which I feel like is the only thing for Braun Breaker really left to do before heading up to the main roster. But why put the tag team title on him if you weren't going to keep him around?
Right.
And if he's not sticking around, then why are we doing this at all? The biggest thing that I can see coming out of this is they're going to use Corbin to put Breaker over before he heads up to the main roster. And again, what does that do to get me invested into Baron Corbin? This is my problem with Baron Corbin.
Yeah. No, I hear you, man. You got to talk your shit, man. Go off, man. This is the this is the CJ pipe bomb right here on Baron Corbin.
It's like me with the Viking Raiders. This is a weekly thing when they show up on shows. I get it.
I gotta find somebody to hate too. I don't know who. I don't know who's. Oh, maybe I'll find it coming up. I think. You know what? I think it's just everybody in Chase U. Chase U is just go away for me, and it's ridiculous. It's everything I've said that's what's wrong with the backstage skits. It's like everything combined. The vignettes, the teleprompter shit. We'll talk about it, but it's coming. It's coming, y'all. It's coming, y'all. It's coming.
But we had a quick little hype segment for Oba Femi for the finals of the Breakout tournament later tonight. Then we had a quick backstage segment with the women in the locker room. As mentioned, pretty rad. They've all got their own little logos on their individual lockers. And we had Gigi Dolan had a little verbal confrontation there with Cora Jade.
Yeah. I guess
all over a locker.
Yeah.
All over a locker. Hey, which almost feels like, the like the Raw versus SmackDown games on the PlayStation where they had the general manager mode where you could book angles. This feels like a feud option on that.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely.
or it kind of reminds me of the shampoo commercial with who was that? It was Edge and Booker T or something.
Edge and Booker T. Yeah, they were
It's
fighting over a shampoo ad.
this little locker room feud could end up in a Hell in a Cell match. Like, you know what I'm saying? We don't know what could happen. It can start so small and then just go to like fucking Buried Alive. Holy shit, Cora J, Gigi fucking Allen.
It all started over a locker.
Yeah.
That doesn't even have a door.
Just get up. Fuck.
It's a big building, guys. You're fine.
It's like two spots over. Why did whoever was seated in Gigi Dolan's locker, why did she need to sit there? Why couldn't Gigi sit in her own locker space?
But Gigi's a face, so she's being nice.
I know we trivializing it, but if you ever been in jail, this is not this is a big fucking deal. You don't sit. That's somebody else's seat. If you sat in there, you've challenged them. So I think that the NXT women's locker room has jail mentality, and Gigi sat in that seat knowing Cora was gonna come and tell her something. That's how you challenge the big dog. All right, you sit in your fucking seat. You change the fucking TV. You do things you're not supposed to do.
Just give a little scoochie to the right, bro. You'll be all right, man. Give a little scoochie action. Lord have mercy.
Scoochie. All right. So there was no scoochie though, and there will be violence shed over this locker. But we had a interview segment with Ridge Holland, and I felt like this segment really focused more on Ridge's injuries.
Yeah, this shit was so weird.
As opposed to the injuries he's caused others. There he is with the tampon up his nose. That picture of his ankle was one of the. They should have warned people before putting that on television.
Yo, what is
thank you for not cycling through to that picture.
Yeah.
My goodness, I thought I was.
I don't think we're allowed to show blood. We got a violence thing last week on Dynamite.
Oh my god, you can show pictures of blood of an injury. Well, you hit the black and white action, so you're good, bro. You hit the black and white WWE censor. I mean, I can skim through this real quick because I just thought the whole segment was weird. I don't know if we're supposed to get sympathy for Ridge. Like, they were playing this up like so serious, like, but it's like an angle, but then like Ilja was actually like not there. Like, I don't know what they're trying to do with Ridge. I think he needs to go in there in a squash match. And if you're going to go with this, just go for it. So just fake injure somebody else and have a mental breakdown in the ring. And then if you want to do the monster character where he snaps, I have this beautiful family, but I can't. That gives us layers to work with. We can do that. But I don't know if you just want us to sympathize with this dude, it's like, I know accidents happen, but stop making this a part of the character unless you just go all the way in with it. Like, I want to see him have like a break. Oh, like look at the hands, like, like I want that Ridge Holland. Like, if you want to go for it, then go for it, bro.
Like, yeah, like I agree with that. Like, just having completely snap, have him like injure like ring crew, like just bust everybody down. Just
I'm talking about like tears. Like, I'm sorry. Like, go into it. Like, that'll gain some sympathy. Like. But I don't think they're brave enough to do that. But then again, you're gonna like bring up like some real life shit. Like, bro, Big E still can't wrestle because of this guy. As much as an accident it was, man, I don't think we should shed light to that. That's kind of weird, but I mean, it is what it is, man. I mean, I'm sure they've talked about it. So beautiful family, by the way, for Ridge Holland. So good for him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I definitely thought it was an interesting choice to ignore what felt like the whole reason Ridge Holland came back to NXT in the first.
Oh, he got cut.
I hate this. I don't know if it's the mic or the cable.
Oh, it went off again. Oh man. Hey, it's Corbin, man. It's Braun, man. They're trolling you, man. They're trolling you from the fucking
the
clubhouse they were in.
Braun.
Yeah.
I promise that's not me muting him. I don't know what's going on.
I told you, bro. It's Cobra.
No, I feel like it's definitely on my end.
I blame Baron Corbin as well.
Fucking Baron Corbin.
Okay, so no. Yeah, that's exactly what it was, Baron Corbin.
Core Braun. Thank you. Hashtag Core Braun.
We're gonna make Core Braun in the chat, please. Thank you very much.
No, Core Braun is not a thing.
This is the thing. This is officially a thing. We've coined.
But yeah, like I thought this would have been better to air before they went ahead with any sort of injury angle, whether it's Ilja or whoever it should have been, because this really wasn't the way to go about it. Like he should have gone up against someone else 2 weeks ago instead of Ilja. There was no reason for that match to actually happen. So I think this would have carried a little bit more emotional weight and allowed for a bit more sympathy for Ridge Holland if we had this information before anybody got injured.
Yeah,
I feel you.
Yeah, we'll see where they're going with it long term. I said this, when they started the angle. I'll probably continue saying it. I don't care for it. I don't like. I thought I kind of like it even less now that it's stretched on another week, where they're saying that he's out, because that just kind of makes the water a little murkier on whether or not it's an angle or a legitimate injury. And again, I'm pretty sure it's an angle. And it's there's been no reporting or anything saying that he's actually hurt or anything like that. But it's just, I don't like it. It blurs the line too much.
And I get that, man. I do.
Part of it is that. Part of it for me is I was looking forward to seeing Ilja Dragunov versus Trick Williams.
Me too.
If this storyline that didn't need to get Ilja involved in it cost me this match for no reason other than progressing this other storyline, like if he's not actually injured, I'm pissed as a fan. Like, I genuinely would have loved to see Ilja Dragunov versus Trick Williams. Grayson Waller is a decent substitute, nothing away from the match they had, but I would have much rather had Ilja Dragunov compete tonight.
I was actually really surprised they did the old WWE Vince McMahon bait and switch here. I thought we were done with things like that. This is
lame.
Like classic WWE right here.
I guess they said whatever, since it's always a returning crowd and it's a little more forgiving since it's like more intimate setting. Like you're not flying from like Wisconsin to New York to see Madison Square Garden. They took like a CM Punk match off the card. It's like
dange, pal.
Yeah, that shit lame, but
such good shit.
Yeah, I guess you can do it here.
John, to your point though, the fact that it's not the crutch that it used to be, like we talk about the post Vince era, and it was only really a year and a half ago that he stepped down. So for them to not see this sort of angle pop up since Vince retired in the year and a half instead of every 3 or 4 months, definitely an improvement.
Absolutely. All right, so moving on to the last match we have to discuss on the card, we had Riley Osborne of Chase U taking on Oba Femi for the finals of the Breakout tournament, and Oba Femi takes the win in this in 9 minutes and 41 seconds. I thought this match was fantastic.
Yeah, match of the night for sure. Match of the night.
Absolutely.
Match of the night. And these guys, and this is who I picked to win, Oba Femi. I can see a lot of big things come for Oba in the future. I know he gets an NXT title shot, right? Number one, or like, what is he?
Yeah.
NXT title shot out of this. And I think, you know what I'm saying? I think a lot of big things could come from Oba. Maybe he could either go a faction route, start a faction in NXT, get called up, maybe work with somebody, what's it called, in the upper, like Raw, SmackDown. He could go a bunch of different places. Great one, and it's another thing too. I was saying all show about how bad the backstage segments are, kind of like scripted wise. Oba Femi has probably the best promo in NXT, and he just got there. Come on, man. I think he
he's
has the
good.
best promo in NXT. He sounds threatening. He has a visual presence. His in-ring style is dope. His finisher was just him throwing dude everywhere, and he pinned him, and he hit him with a power bomb. I think power bombs are coming back. I think a lot of people are using power bombs, but it's a good. Yeah, hard ass slap. That was a good spot, and just shit like that. You know what I'm saying? And he can do that because you have such an imposing figure that you can do less, and it'll still mean more and look more impactful. And that's what Oma Femi does. So shouts out to him
one more time because god damn, bro.
Get that hit.
Jesus,
damn,
I love this kid. Like he's only 22. That is insane.
Was he 24?
22, brother.
No
22?
way.
Yeah,
no way.
That's great. Look at this man. That's a grown. Where did they grow him? Where do they grow him?
Hey,
Where do they get people this size at 22? Like that's a child.
Hey, don't show that picture to Tony Khan. He'll fear for his life. But anyway,
I love this guy.
He's like one of my new favorites on NXT.
No, like I would like to see them give him a finish that's a little more unique than just a regular power bomb. What was Jesus? What was the power bomb that Ahmed Johnson did?
Pearl River Plunge. He had the Pearl River Plunge.
Oh, the Pearl River Plunge, yeah.
Yeah, but and then they had like the double underhook and the flip. Like maybe something.
Double underhook.
It's a tiger bomb. It's a tiger bomb that he gave a special name.
Yeah, for sure. Like
I like that because his style is so and kind of like Gunther, where it's just he's beating the shit out of you. So it's like I don't have to do like a fancy thing. I just beat your ass and I power bombed you to make sure it's over. Like I actually really like that. It's like a brutal, nasty style, and he's young, and the way his whole move set kind of lends to that kind of finish. So I'm actually okay with that.
Hey, bro, you got me thinking, bro. Gunther versus Oba Femi, bro.
Oba, give me a couple years. Gunther gonna be the final boss of the WWE, and people like Oba Femi are gonna be up there in their first main event. It's gonna be sick. That meaty heavyweight main event championship match.
Yeah.
I hope this kid really likes wrestling because that's another thing. Like he's very new and he came like out of college, and I don't even know if he likes wrestling. Like he might just be here and leave.
But guess what? He could be a Brock Lesnar story and just like that shit. Yeah. Like, oh man, come right out of like Greco-Roman wrestling and like straight into this shit.
Really damn good at it.
I want to get this in real quick before we run out of time. I want to get this in real quick. This Chase U shit has to stop. It's over with. It's done. It's over with. It's done. It's done. It's done. It's done. It's done. It's over with. It's over with. Like who wants any of this? I don't see nobody else wearing Chase U shirts other than the plants in the crowd. It's done. We're done.
And they're down to like 5 people. They're down to like 5 people.
There used to be like 20 people in the audience. We're done. We're done with Chase U. We go to the back. Who was the chick screaming? Who was that? What's her name? Thea Hale.
Thea Hale.
I don't know what Shawn Michaels is doing back there. I don't know who he's pulling aside and telling people to, hey, look, this is what I want you to do. Whatever she did tonight, fire whoever told her to act like that when she touched what's her name hand. That's ridiculous. That is ridiculous. And that's enough. You know how like somebody walks in on you watching something, you're like, oh, I wasn't really watching. Like I'm embarrassed to watch this show because of like weird backstage segments like that. It's so forced. It's so corny. And then you Chase. I think my problem with Andre Chase is that his goatee is too big. Trim your goatee. His goatee is too big for his face. That's the problem. I'm done.
There are such good beards in NXT. And his is just so bad. But he looks worse every week. He looks more disheveled every single week.
I know it's a part of the gimmick, but Lord have mercy, he got to trim that shit, bro.
They got it right in that segment. 3 weeks ago? He looks like shit.
He really does.
Yeah,
Andre, I'm sorry you do. I hope you're actually okay.
Yeah, I don't know. Just the whole presentation of this faction, like, and I don't know what they don't fit into any really like. I mean, I guess they have something going on with the Italian dudes.
Because now they're still in debt.
It's giving gang warfare from the 90s, kind of like how they had Nation of Domination, and you had like the biker dudes and Los Boricuas.
Los
like
Boricuas.
It's like 3 fucking factions that nobody really gives a shit about.
DOA. That was
part of all the Chase U fans, all 6 of y'all in the fucking crowd. But like, yeah, it's over with. It's over with for me. That was ridiculous. Thea Hale, that was ridiculous. Ridiculous. I wish you would have clipped that. Jeez.
I'm hoping the pairing of Thea Hale and JC Jane is kind of moving Hale away from Chase U. Like I like them as a pairing. I think they work well together. But
absolutely, like
they're
the so
segments are bad.
I thought they were gonna just be free and clear of this last week when they had Chase U's debt on the line in the match, and all they had to do was win and they were free and clear. That would have been awesome. But yeah, we're still dragging this out, and I don't care anymore.
I don't care anymore. Even and I'll say this and I'll leave it alone. Even if they do get to a payoff and they do the payoff, who cares?
Mm-hmm.
With the Devil storyline, it was predictable. And you're like, if it's Adam Cole, you're like, oh shit, it's really Adam Cole. It was some sort of intrigue. I don't care about this at all. I don't think anybody does. And this isn't the storyline to show your top-notch acting skills or promo skills, because the whole thing is some fucking weird joke and nobody buys it. Why are y'all so obsessed with money if everybody's getting paid the same? Because y'all are on a national syndicated television show. You're supposed to suspend your disbelief. It's a lot to ask to be like, oh yeah, these college kids. I don't even want to try to put it into words. It's just, I don't know. Chase U, man, it's an L for me, man. Yeah, it's an L for me. I don't know. I'm not feeling it. But.
Just before we go tonight, I did want to just get, because I got a better angle of that shot of that Joaquin Wilde leap, because you got to see the distance on this thing. You got to appreciate the distance.
Carlito, but what?
This is insane. That man launched halfway across the ramp. Like, he launched halfway backstage. That's
like
Bandito's. I've never seen Bandito do that. And
they do that on like a big SmackDown or a PLE. That's going to be like an ESPN clip. Like that's one of those clips.
And they did it on a regular episode of NXT. Wow,
that was New Year's Evil.
Yeah, you're right.
A special
back to himself because he kind of fell back to the wayside. The old DJZ. Trying to give his singles run in 2024. I see it. I see the vision.
Dude, that was a great leap, though, man. I think he cleared at least 10 feet, bro. Lord have mercy. I've never seen shit like that.
It might have been more. Honestly,
get a lot of momentum when you got two guys helping push the rope while your foot's on it.
Shout out to the corner. Hey, no wonder they call it quarter crutch crew. Fuck, that was a great landing by fucking Del Toro right there, bro. Or was it Walking Wild? My bad.
Joaquin. But all right, gentlemen. So we'll segue that into tonight's Constable Corbin of the night.
Oh, I got y'all. Thea Hale, man. Thea Hale's my Constable Corbin of the night. She got to calm that down. That was ridiculous. That's something that'll take somebody out of wrestling. Like, what am I watching? But bless her heart. And you know what I'm saying? Like, I wish the promos were a little bit tiny bit more tighter and more natural too. I think that's just going forward. I think that's something that NXT should work on.
Agreed. I'm going with Ridge Holland.
Okay.
Because I just don't know what they're trying to achieve with that interview segment. Like, you're trying to make him sympathetic, but you really can't paint a guy that has continually injured people as sympathetic. It's weird. I don't understand what they're trying to do with it. I don't like the angle in general. So I'm going with Ridge as my Constable Corbin of the night, and really the angle in general.
Who you got, CJ?
this kind of happened overnight, or people not overnight, but while we were talking, while you guys were talking on the stream, where Triple H had announced before that he had a major announcement, and everybody kind of thought it was just another joke, like Tony Khan major announcement thing. And then TNA rebranded their shows this evening. They're no longer pay-per-views; they are premium live events.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that phrase, and then Triple H's announcement being on a Thursday when they air Impact, and then the fact that TNA also signed a deal with Endeavor to host their streaming service, it's kind of made people start to wonder what Triple H is cooking.
Back up a little bit one time. Triple H, and I think we lost CJ, bless his heart. One I don't know what's going on. Triple H has an announcement Thursday, you said?
Yeah.
Oh, they bought TNA. It's over with. It's over with. It's over with. They bought TNA.
To be on.
They did it.
Is it the Bump? What show is it that they air?
The Bump.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's over with. I think they bought TNA. I think for sure.
I don't know if they bought it, but
they have a working relationship. For sure.
It kind of does seem
who
like
else
they
will
might
call
be
it a
working
premium live
with
event?
TNA.
If they buy TNA, will that get them the master tapes for the Memphis territory?
That's a good question, because Jerry Jarrett. But I don't know if they had grouped those together. I don't know if those were one property. I think TNA was its own thing. It's video library.
Yeah, but I know that's one of the few libraries they don't own. I just wonder if they'd try to work that into a deal, but I don't know if they'd have access.
The Impact library is a pretty good library to own in itself.
Yeah, it is.
Especially
AJ would probably
like
appreciate
AJ,
them having that.
Yeah,
for sure. Oh yeah, definitely.
But I thought that was interesting. I thought I'd bring that up before we went home tonight, because that would be wild. And as crazy as it sounds, it does have some evidence. Sorry you missed that, CJ. It was a little fun off topic.
I hate technology, and clearly technology hates me too. I think my headphones just entirely stopped.
Damn, the whole setup is just bro. We're gonna start seeing your WWE titles disintegrate in midair, bro. Like in the background, like just everything going wrong, bro. And they said Naomi's coming back too, like what Alex said in the comments. They said Trinity's coming back
to WWE.
Mm-hmm. So I don't know. I think basically what we're saying, CJ, is we think WWE and TNA might have a small working relationship going forward. That'd be insane.
Well, with Endeavor taking over their streaming,
definitely. I just heard about that.
Which I wanted, since we're talking about it, they did switch over to TNA Plus. It's no longer Impact Plus. They switched over, I think, as of last week. But as far as the subscription structure, you've got the special attraction tier, which is the full content library, digital first content, exclusive live specials for $12.99 a month. You get the annual the annual subscription for the same thing at $130, or you can get the World Champion annual, which is all the stuff plus live pay-per-view events for $300 a year.
Fuck.
And there is no monthly tier. You have to pay $300 for a year up front.
Hey, that's a lot of wrestling for your ass.
That's bold, but
that is incredibly bold.
We'll see what comes from.
And keep in mind, this is Canadian. I don't know what they would charge American prices.
Unbelievable.
But yeah, I thought that was
that's
worth mentioning since we're talking TNA.
Yeah. But CJ, who did you have as your Constable Corbin of the night?
My Constable Corbin of the night tonight has to be Ridge Holland. I mean, the guy just is not set up to look like anything but a jobber right now. And I get that they want to try and clean up his image and make him, more than just the guy that injures people and gets injured. But they have a really weird presentation if that's their goal. So it hasn't invested in my interest yet. We'll see how it plays out.
All right, that'll bring us to our mega stars of the evening. And this evening, my megastar is going to be Fallon Henley.
Okay.
I say this. I feel like I say this every week, but she looks better in the ring every single week. Like, she is improving just piece by piece every single week. I said it before and I'll say it again. I think she is going to have an incredible breakout year in 2024. But yeah, she's my megastar of the night. I think this closes the feud with Tiffany Stratton. I think Stratton's going to be main roster bound probably after Mania anyway. And, we're going to have some fun, Green Acres-esque farm segments. And
I can't wait.
I'm willing to bet Shawn Michaels is, he's, a little older. I'm not, what was he, in his mid-50s? That dude had to have watched Green Acres growing up. Had to have. I'm guaranteeing you there's going to be some straight up Green Acres shit that happens in this. They might even do some kind of parody of the song for the vignette. Who knows? But yeah, Fallon's my megastar. She looked like $1 million in the match tonight. I think sky's the limits for her in 2024.
I really hope. I can only imagine we're gonna see Fallon and Henley literally face plant into a pile of horse shit, and it's gonna be hilarious. My megastar of the night has to be Oba Femi. The dude, biggest win of his career, and you know what? Props to Shawn Michaels. I really came into this tournament with this, I didn't get why they were booking a tournament full of no names with this year's breakout tournament, and they managed to get me invested in the finals of this tournament full of no names. So props to HBK and props to Riley Osborne and Oba Femi for having characters that are worth getting invested in. Baron Corbin, take notes. But no, the way Oba Femi looked tonight, both guys, Riley Osborne and Oba Femi, are definitely main event contenders by the end of this year. Oba Femi in particular, though, he looked like a star. And so that's why he's my megastar of the night tonight.
Yeah, I'm gonna give my megastar. I'm gonna let Bruce tell y'all. I think the megastar is Oba Femi. I think so too, man. But he just looks so dominant in the ring. He has a good ring presence. Great, the best promo in NXT right now. Question mark? Maybe. You know what I'm saying? And it's only the future is only so bright for him. You know what I'm saying? He already has an NXT title shot already set up. Can't wait to see what they do with him, man. I'm really excited for Oba Femi, man. And I'm glad they did. Go and show the slap, bro. One more time. Go show the slap one more time. Turn your speaker. Is so, you know what I'm saying? If you can bring some excitement like that, he could be NXT's Gunther. You understand? So that's my shout for the night.
Fantastic. All right. Well, gentlemen, lovely, fantastic evening and discussion of NXT New Year's Evil, which I said last night on the Raw show. New Year's Evil, a 1980s horror film, not a well-known one, and apparently one that didn't have a trademark, or was a trademark that was easy to wrestle away. But gentlemen, before we sign off, we'll run around here real quick. We'll tell everyone who we are, where you can see us. But I'm Tyler, the Pro Wrestling Hipster at PW Hipster on Twitter and Threads and Instagram. The Pro Wrestling Hipster over on Facebook. I got a page set up over there. New Year's Evil. Hell yeah. Thank you, John. Thank you. There we are. Yeah, it was on Shudder for a while. I'm not sure if it still is or not, but it's worth a watch if you enjoy, 80s low budget slashers. But the Pro Wrestling Hipster over on Facebook, got a page set up there. Got silly little articles, some serious, some goofy coming down the pike. But and I will be back here for Dirt Sheet Radio on Monday night, and then back again next Tuesday with you gentlemen here for the NXT Rewind. Soup, where will we see you next, and where can folks find you?
You can find me on Instagram at Young Suplex or X, my brand new X, by the way, Digital Suplex. But I just want to give a shout out real quick to Tyler for holding down the recaps, because without Tyler I would be so lost on how to get through the format for the show. So shout out to Tyler, and also shout out to that boy John, man, because this dude puts in so much work for all these shows behind the scenes, controlling the control panel and still going to work, still raising the fam. That's crazy, bro. So shout out to y'all, man. We got a good squad here. And shout out to CJ too. He hates Baron Corbin. He just hates. He can't stand him.
All right, CJ Carter at CJ Carter 22 on Twitter. If you catch me on Dirt Sheet Radio Rewind for SmackDown on Fridays every week with the team of Sam Schluter, the Straight Shooter, and B. Ray Jones, and then every week here recapping NXT with you guys.
What's up?
Hell yeah. Well, guys, thank you so much. And thank you to everyone out there that watches us live and on delay. We will see you next week. Have a wonderful evening for Dirt Sheet Radio. Thank you so much. Good night, everybody.
Bye.